Good afternoon, everyone. Whichever part of the day, maybe good morning or good afternoon or good evening. So today we are going to discuss what are the different ways one can improve their communication. So how, just think for a minute and decide how can you improve your pronunciation. So if you think about it, pronunciation can be improved in different ways. One is it is one of the best leadership qualities. There should not be any miscommunication. At the same time, a leader should be able to be clear. He has to be clear. He or she should be clear and handle the employees effectively, and also ensure that the work is done properly on time. So this is an essential quality a leader should have. So now in this world of business where students go and join in companies where they have to work in teams, communication is very important. So this communication skill can be mastered through practice. So how you have to be clear. Everybody says you have to be clear and concise. So how do you know whether you are clear and concise? There is one SEEI technique which you can look up. Means you have to say something, you have to give an example, you have to illustrate and explain. Okay, you have to say, explain, example, illustrate. So that way, one of the ways one can improve develop their clarity. For example, what is communication? Communication is conveying message from sender to the receiver. So now I have to explain who is a sender. So sender is the one who speaks, receiver is someone who listens, and the communication is the message. So there are three channels. The fourth channel is medium, how you, and then I have explained, I gave an example. Now when I make a talk, when I make making this video, I am the sender, and the one who, it may be one or two more people who listens to me is the receiver, and I am explaining SEEI technique, which is the message I am sending through explanation. Okay, so I have given example, illustrate. So you can also show pictures for that. I can go to online images for SEI technique and give illustration what it is. Okay, this is how you bring in clarity. So that way you just target what you want to say rather than talking about something irrelevant. So when we communicate with people, you have to have an idea what you want to convey. So you have to understand what you want to convey from start to finish, and also should understand how you will respond to the questions and also the criticism people may give you. For example, what examples when you, if at all, imagine that somebody comes to interview you, and then you have to prepare list of things that is expected from a candidate. So this is an example, and then non-verbal communication is also very important. According to survey, how we behave, what type of message that we are giving through our body language is also very important, because it's almost 75% of the communication happens not orally, but the way we express through our body languages. So if at all you have disagreement or anger, you have to control, and always should make an eye contact with people you are talking to. So non-verbal communication is an important thing that needs to be under your control. Your tone also, sometimes tone is an important factor, and you have to use proper language, the connotations. For example, you have words which have negative context, like when I want to praise somebody, I will praise him saying that he is very intelligent. I can even say he is very clever. Clever is not just positive, it is also gives negative meaning too. Oh, he is very shrewd. He is very shrewd. In fire, he is very clever. The tone, no? He is an intelligent. So you have to choose connotations, means words that may give negative, positive or neutral meaning. So tone includes what is the pitch, how much you have to raise your voice, and then how to alter your voice. All these aspects are very important. And even while writing, we have to make use of polite words like could you, would you, and then these are the words that we need. Formal language, if you are writing to superiors, that shows respect. So in writing we have to keep in mind all these things. So our response should be, if at all you are making a communication online, better when you write something which you don't want people to misunderstand, you write it and leave it for a day, you look at it next day. So never write anything when you are angry, because written communication is fixed. So we have to develop, fifth point is, we have to develop the art of listening to people. So listening and speaking are very important. Many people want to speak, they don't want to listen to others, but this is not correct. Okay, because it is difficult to control ourselves, and don't interrupt somebody while they are speaking. So why we need to show that we are a good listener? It shows that you are giving full attention to the speaker and also giving them undivided attention. So all the distractions, the judgment and counter arguments, you may want to immediately take part in the conversation by doing any of this, but avoid till the end. So don't have the temptation to interrupt somebody with your own thought. So show body language, lean little forward, and though you may not be focusing, and that way leaning towards the speaker and also paying attention is very important. So rephrase and then paraphrase what you want to reply also. So ask open-ended questions. Like open-ended are, like when I ask you, are you a student? Yes, no. That is closed questions, fixed responses. Open-ended questions, you ask what, when, how, where do you live, what are the proponents, when is it happening, like that. Okay. So open-ended questions bring in more responses. Okay. So emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? We must learn. There are 4 aspects of emotional intelligence. First thing is, we have to understand ourselves. So we have to understand our SWOT. That means what is the strength, weakness, opportunity and threat. Okay, in our communication itself, and ability to control ourselves. So understanding oneself, controlling oneself is the first aspect. The second aspect is understanding others and knowing how to control them is another aspect of emotional intelligence. So you should know how to manage, how to understand. After understanding, you have to know how to manage your own emotions. Okay, how you feel. This is an important aspect of emotional intelligence. So how we should be understanding, we have to show empathy. We have to look at things from others' point of view. Okay, and then and being honest, all these very essential aspect of emotional intelligence. So when you work in a company, you should have a strategy. So it is not easy all the time to communicate to everybody, because if you are bringing some change, people may object to that. So you have to learn. Sometimes you want to find out, you want to convey that you are not happy with somebody's behavior, but that person you can't let go of. So you have to praise them first and then say, if you have done like this, it would have been better. Like that you have to put it instead of bluntly telling. So you should have a positive organization culture, a work where there is transparency and trust. And empathy means looking at things from others' point of view, and open dialogue. All this will avoid any internal politics. So we should have transparency, trust, empathy and open dialogue are very much essential for proper communication to happen. And then some organizations, some do not open up. So this is not at all acceptable. You have to encourage everyone to express themselves. So we have to lay the foundation of trust and transparency. Otherwise, communication can be misconstructed and it may lead to misunderstanding. So it is very much essential for you to work with co-workers and properly talk to them, communicate with them. Any messages that come from your boss should be communicated to them, and if your subordinates have something to say, you should carry it to them. So this is an important aspect of communication skills. So these are the some tips, 8 tips of proper communication, which I found interesting while I was going through the net. Thank you very much. So this article, is written by Mary Sharp Emerson, and the link also you can see.